maybe I overestimated the Jacksonville Jaguars, whose defense isn't that good. And eventually we're going to start having a conversation about Trevor Lawerence in big games versus good defense. Not yet. Just take it easy.
You got to feel the pain and embarrassment of today, and that's what it is. It's terrible. It's one of the worst games I've probably played in my career. So, I feel that, and I take responsibility for that. And
all right, the Jacksonville Jaguars lose to the San Francisco 49ers 34-3, and I'll say it like this. This isn't going to be a very negative video towards the Jaguars, but this is not going to be a positive video. It's going to be more negative than positive, I guess, and I'm thinking about it openly right now. It's this is a good wake-up call. Let's start there. Great wake-up call. A lot of people were getting kind of ahead of themselves with where the Jaguars really are. And I'll say it like this. Jaguars, you just faced a legit Super Bowl contender. You just faced an NFC championship caliber opponent. Okay? Now, all I have to say is this. I don't know if the Jaguars are worse than the 49ers. I don't want to go out and say that because the game didn't look like that. Even though the score is 34-3, it didn't look like the Jaguars were the worst team. It really looked like the Jaguars got outcoached significantly. And with that, I just want to say a few things that I saw, okay? One thing that's been circling around very effectively is the insignificance of the 49ers defense and how Joe Burrow has been able to exploit that, how Josh Dobbs was able to exploit that. It doesn't make sense that certain quarterbacks that use their legs really well are able to exploit when you have a quarterback in Trevor Lawerence who has legs. He has wheels. That was the issue, I think. Schematically. Okay, so I just think that was the issue. The issue was, well, there's two issues. Number one, Trevor's got to use his legs a little bit more. 2 carries for 7 yards. He's got to have more than that. Josh Dobbs and Joe Burrow were running for their lives against the San Francisco 49ers, and there's a reason why. Trevor Lawerence got sacked 5 times. You have to put him in positions. You can't have him standing there like he's a millionaire in the projects. You can't. Like a Lamborghini in the hood. That's what it was. If you keep him in the pocket, that's the parallel. And at some point, something bad's gonna happen. That's a fact. Okay? Trevor Lawerence needs to be put in situations where he can use his legs, where his legs can be a threat, to where at the end of the day, Fred Warner has to spy on Trevor Lawerence. That's one less guy in coverage. Trevor Lawerence is an athlete. Crazy athlete. And I don't understand why his legs weren't used more. And I think that's how you beat the 49ers. They don't like it because they're very zone heavy. They're zone dependent. So they just want to be in their zones and have you try to dice them. Threaten their zone with the quarterback run. See how they like it. They don't. I'm telling you guys, they do not like that. And so that was one issue that I saw that was potent. That was one issue that I saw was it. I mean, that's going to affect the motion of the game. Another thing is this. Calvin Ridley went all the way to the 3rd quarter with his first reception. Okay, and 49ers clearly are going to try to take him out of the game. They want to isolate him. They want other players to come about to beat them. I get that. Totally get that. One thing that I don't get is that I'm not going to be hyperbolic. So, okay, beautiful. Calvin Ridley had 3 targets, 2 receptions for 20 yards. There was 2 extra, they don't call targets for pass interferences. Okay? He had 2 more targets that were pass interferences. Okay? So let's pull it all in a chamber. He had 5 targets, 2 were pass interference calls, and 2 were receptions. He's batting 80%. You gotta just throw the ball at him. No one can guard him. I'm not talking about 49ers. I'm saying in the National Football League. No one. My love, my passion is defense. Even more so, my love and my passion are the cornerback positions, okay? No one in the National Football League can guard Calvin Ridley. Send it. No one. That means whether it be a concept, a clear route rub, anything you have to do to throw Calvin in a situation where it is one-on-one, where people are going to grab him, pull on him, and tug him. Crossover routes, C routes, whip routes, any routes where he is going to be able to be sporadic and springy, and people are going to hold and grab. That's going to happen with him. Like, I don't know. That's so crazy. Calvin had a great game, if that's how you see it. If you give him his pass interferences, he had a great game. But you stopped. And the third thing is this thing, okay? The Bengals, the Vikings, what they did to combat this 49ers defense is one of two things. What the Vikings did is they put their head down and they ran on you. And they used Josh Dobbs' legs. What the Bengals did is they spread everyone out, empty set, everyone spread out. There's no bunch sets. They spread everyone out and they used Joe Burrow's legs. What the Jaguars did is they used these snugs concepts, these stacking wide receiver concepts, and everything is smushed in. Everything is smushed in. Like, you're not stretching out the 49ers defense that way. Stretch out the 49ers defense. Why? Because they're playing zone. If you keep everything snugged in, that's making their job easier defensively. So much easier. Guys, I'm not even in the National Football League. I'm not an offensive coordinator. How do they? It's simple. It's simple math. It's bodies. It's spread everything out, empty, no stacking receivers. Don't have your Y or your tight end in line. Have them spread out. Spread them out. Let Trevor go to work. It's like you do not be in love with your own philosophy that you don't adapt to Super Bowl talent. I understand the brilliance. I understand the maturation of understanding, hey, we like what we do. They're going to have to adapt to us. Stop. Do what will work. The 49ers are a team where you have to attack their weaknesses. Don't say, hey, we believe in what we got, because you saw it in front of you. You got to spread them out. You got to put them on islands in their zones. You got to make them think more. You have the talent. I like Christian Kirk now. When he got that big $18 million per year deal, I was trashing it. Gives me 6 receptions, over 100 yards. I think he's worth every dime, especially in today's market. He's worth every dime. You guys got nothing from the run game, but that's not surprising. It's not surprising because he's stacking everybody in there. If you can't even move the linebackers out of the tackle box, you're cooked. That's what the Bengals did. And I'm not harping on too much, but they removed Fred Warner and Greenlaw from the box with spreading everything out. And now Trevor can dice him up. Trevor can do what he wants. Trevor can use his legs. That's how the game plan should have went. It sucks. Don't panic. The season's not over. You guys do have the Texans on your ass, though. The Texans are on your ass, and even more so, the Texans just beat the Bengals. So they are ready. Do not fumble this. The Prince that was promised, right? Nick Wright fans out there, the Prince that was promised has an unfortunate reality of losing his division to the Texans and losing his title as the best quarterback in the division to CJ Stroud. I'm not there yet. Don't think that I'm there yet, okay? But what I will say is you're in trouble and you should panic slightly. It's not over, but things need to be corrected and people need to adapt. Like, comment, and subscribe.